There's so much information out there about how to get started on Airbnb and how to find and maximize your profits and how to find the right listing. But there's not a lot of information on how to actually outperform all of your competitors once you're actually on Airbnb. So in this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to outperform all of your competitors. And when I say outperform, I'm talking about tracking your competitors, looking at the reviews, looking at what they're doing right, looking at what they're doing wrong, seeing the amenities that they have in their houses that's allowing them to get more revenue, and really just other hidden tips and tricks that you might not know that might help you get the edge or even be better at knowing exactly what makes your competition successful so you can do the exact same thing, and if not, maybe even find gaps within their strategy to come in and outperform them. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you a bonus on how you can use Airbnb's platform to see exactly how much money different amenities would make you. That's a really cool thing in case you were wondering if having a hot tub or if having a pool table or ping pong table, if having these amenities would actually increase your nightly revenue or increase the average stay. In the end of this video, you would actually know exactly how much by almost the exact dollar. So stick around because this is going to be very, very informative. And you'll know all of that by the end of this video. So let's actually begin. So the first thing you need to understand is exactly how to track your competitors. Because if you want to compete or know exactly what your competition is doing, you need to have a way of tracking them on almost on a daily basis, or have a system where all of those listings are in one place for you to easily see. The old method is saving your host's listing and bookmarking and looking at it later. But that doesn't give you nearly enough information to actually do anything about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first how to track your competitors and put them all in one place. And then we'll be going into just different strategies that you can use. So number one, like I said, tracking. So what you want to do for tracking is something that you're probably aware of, and if not, then you definitely want to utilize this, and that's wish listing your competitors. First, you want to do a flexible search and look for the exact same guest count as your listing. Once you've done that and you hit search, you're going to see a list of all the Airbnbs in that exact same market. Some of them are going to be similar, some of them are going to be quite different. What I want you to do is look for ones that are as similar as yours. So you can look at the design layout of the house, you can look at the structural layout of the house, you can look at the amount of reviews that they have, you can look at the similarity or even just the distance between listings. And what I want you to do with all of that information is wish list every single one of those houses that are just very, very similar to yours. They could either be very, very similar to yours, or you can do some that are just a little bit worse or just a little bit better than your listing. This is going to be useful in all markets that you're in. The more Airbnbs in your area, the more robust your data is going to be. So what you want to do is you want to do this search for the closest 10 to maybe 15, on a stretch 20 properties. You don't want to do anything more than that because these are going to be your closest competitors, and anything after that is just too far. So look for your 10 to 20 closest competitors, just so it's easier for you to track on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or even on a monthly basis. Once you've wishlisted all of these, I want you to save that wishlist as closest competitors. Now that you've done this, you've now put all of your closest competitors in one place where you can easily track and look at exactly how they're performing. The first thing that you want to do once you have all of this information is do a quick date search to see what their occupancy is like. Depending on where you are, the type of market that you're in, the type of listing that you have, there's going to be different things that you're going to want to look for. So what I'm going to be covering is all the things that I would look for, and then you can just extrapolate and use what you believe is going to work best for you. So what I would do is I would do a date search for the next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, a month, and 2 months from now. And then what happens is you actually start to see on those dates which ones are available and which ones aren't available. So like, let's say for you, for the next 3 weeks, for the next month, you actually don't have a booking at all, or you might have just one singular booking, but it seems a little bit odd for you. If you want to see if this is the exact same thing that's happening with your competitors, you can do a search for specific days that you know your house is going to be available. Do that search on your competitor list, which you can do in the wish list section, and you will see exactly which houses are available on those dates and which houses aren't available. And with this information, you can actually start finding patterns. So if all the houses seem to be booked, but yours is available, that goes to show that there's something in your listing that's allowing these houses to get booked, these competitors to get booked, but yours isn't. So now you know that it's not the market that's having a problem. There's something that you really need to look at in your listing to be able to get you to actually get more bookings. Whereas if you're not booked and you look at all your closest competitors and they're also not booked, then you know it's more of a market thing, and you can ease a little bit understanding that, okay, it's not just you and it's not just you that's about to go out of business. So that's one really cool thing that you can do. Another thing that I would do is actually go and look at the reviews, really look at the reviews. I would do this even before I get a listing in a specific area and I know I want to buy a house or get an arbitrage unit. I'd look at a specific area, look at the top competitors, and I look at all the reviews. And the beautiful thing with the reviews that you can do now, you can actually now modify the reviews to look for the most relevant, the most recent, the highest rating, and the lowest rating to see exactly why they might be performing the best, or if they don't have a lot of good reviews, you can look at exactly why they might not have good reviews. This helps you truly understand what your competitor is doing right, what they're doing wrong, and where they're going wrong. It might be an avenue to start doing better, or even to market those things. One thing that I've seen worked really well for me myself is for myself especially is when I see reoccurring 4-star or 3-star reviews in any of my competitors or in any market, and it's because of the exact or very, very similar things. In my description, I provide a solution to that thing. Essentially what I'm trying to convey is that in the reviews itself, you can see exactly what your competitors are doing right, what they're doing wrong. Keep a log of these things, and then you know exactly what they're not doing correctly and how you can come in and offer something different that to capture that market. And I do this in perpetuity and maybe look back at it every 2 weeks, maybe every month, or maybe every 2 or 3 months or quarterly to see if there's any new competitors in the space or any new Airbnbs that kind of came up out of nowhere that are in direct competition with me. And I do this myself because no business is evergreen. There's some months or some years where your business might be the top performer, and it's some years where it's not performing as effectively. And the reason that you don't know why is because there are competitors coming up in the space or in the area or in the neighborhood that have things that you just, it's not that you don't have or you can't have, it's that you didn't think of and you didn't see their listing or you didn't see the potential for you to do so. So if you see a competitor, so because of this way of tracking, you can look at your competitors, see what they're doing right, and if it's just something that you can add very quickly to your house, or it could be just a small adjustment or a small tweak that you know you have but you haven't marketed enough of, you can do these changes very, very quickly, and in some cases without even spending any more money. It's just about highlighting them more in the descriptions that could actually significantly boost your revenue. Now I want to give you guys a bonus, which is how can you use Airbnb's platform to see exactly how much money different types of amenities will make you. And this is really cool when I found out how to use this. You can't do this for every single amenity, unfortunately. Maybe you have that option later on, but it's really going to come down to your filtered search on Airbnb. So what I want you to do is I want you to go on the Airbnb platform right now and do a search, just a search for your neighborhood, your guest count, your house count. And what I want you to do is do a filtered search. So in this filtered search, you can actually see what guests will look for specifically when they want to book a house. And you also be able to see the hot amenities that people tend to want to look for. And the really cool thing is at the top, you see these price ranges that you can play around with. And what I usually do is I go to the 3rd or 4th bar and I click it just to get an average of what the average nightly rate is for that specific type of house, which you would have searched for and done the filter search for. And then what I do is I go to the bottom and now I look at through these amenities and look for things that I may not have to see how much more a night I can potentially charge if I had these things. So a perfect example would be a hot tub, because a hot tub tends to be a very, very big amenity. And another thing that you'll notice as well is that when you do the search, you actually get to see how many houses have it and how many houses don't. So if you're doing a wide search, you might have 1,000 houses come up. You can add 1 or even 2 amenities and you can watch that drop by 50, sometimes even 70 to 90%, showing you that that amenity is so rare that only about 10% of the market has it. So now that you know about 10% of the market has it, you go back to the top and you do this exact same search to see exactly how much these houses are charging. And then you'll be able to see without the amenity versus with the amenity. Sometimes it'll be $50 a night, sometimes it'll be $100 a night. I've seen in some cases with some amenities in some markets, the average nightly rate just for listings with that amenity goes up by about $100 to $200 per night. So this is very, very good research that you can do, very, very quick research that you can do for yourself in your listing to kind of see where the cross-benefit analysis would be of adding certain amenities and if it would actually be worth it for you. I hope this video is very, very helpful, but I realize there's not a lot of content for people who actually have Airbnb businesses. Then click this link to get access to just more videos. Or if you want to learn about how I was able to scale my business from 0 to over $100,000 a month in 2 years just doing Airbnb arbitrage, then click this video here to get access to that. All right. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.